Oh no, my combo didn't beat fucking Wizard Rod. Hey guys, Mincher back with another video, and this is just something I just had on my mind. I just want to sit down and talk about. I want to talk about Wizard Rod and just how annoying it is that it stayed in the meta for this long. I feel like when I hear people talk about Wizard Rod and then go to the old generations, like mainly Burst, I hear people say this meta is a bit more, more healthy than Burst meta. I didn't play Burst. I don't know. But all I know is ever since I started playing Beyblade X, Wizard Rod has just, been prominent all the time. So when I first started, that was back in 2020, what? Was it 2024, 2025? It was like, oh my goodness, it was so long. Back when I started, new release was like Whale Wave. That's how long it was. I don't remember when that was. But my first tournament, I did run like Sting Unicorn, Phoenix Wing, and then Kill Shark. That was a terrible day for me. It was all Wizard Rods. I didn't know what Wizard Rod was. I didn't really watch the anime like at all. I just like saw Beyblades in the store. I was like, okay, let me buy some Beyblades. I didn't know Beyblade was still a thing. So then bought some in the store, and then it's all downhill from there. My wallet is gone. But I do feel like Wizard Rod is it's crazy how consistent it is. So back when I started playing Beyblade X, the combo you really ran for Wizard Rod was like maybe a 960. It depends on Ratchet. I didn't really run it too hard, so I think I ran 960 most of the time just to not burst. And then Ball. So the whole thing about Wizard Rod is it's such a smooth, or you might notice, I ain't gonna go too long with this. It's smooth. It has a lot of outward weight distribution. So if you can't really knock this combo out, this combo out early in the game, you're not really it's gonna outspend you. It's gonna get 1 point. The only thing that I think is okay about Wizard Rod in a game where the extreme line and really good hits can net you like a good 2 or 3 point, this Beyblade it can get you above 1, but it's barely ever gonna get you above 1 point. So I feel like in that aspect, it's pretty healthy. I would say if this was like a really good like circular attacker, I think that'd be a lot worse. But we don't really, we kind of do. We have Shark Scale now, which I will talk about in another video if you guys don't see that. But before Wizard Rod, which I wasn't there, so this is just, me doing my own research. Before Wizard Rod, our stamina go-tos were, I believe, Scythe Incendio, or Hell Scythe, whatever you want to call it, don't matter. That was I think it was still on that Ball combo as well. And I believe also there was Sting Unicorn, which I feel like those would be so much cooler to see nowadays, but they're just outclassed. It's simply outclassed. And that makes sense because, Rod is a lot heavier, better weight distribution, so it does what the stamina archetype is supposed to do, but better than these two, obviously. So, that's just how evolution works, really. But also, later down the road, I think we started using Rod 160 Hex. I think that was like, what was it? It was like the fourth quarter of last year. We started using, the Rod. It was 160 at first, but then it kind of evolved into 660 because the way 660 works is it also has like more outward distribution, and it kind of lines up with like Rod's what is it, like the little rivets inside of it. Let me take it off so you guys can see the rivets inside of it. So that makes sense. At first I really didn't like this combo. It kind of bursted for me a lot, but then I like actually started practicing with it, because before I just ran 960 Hex, but 660 is fine. 660 is fine. One person yesterday at tournament did run like, I think this combo must have Hex. I used Free Ball and it kept outspinning my my Rod. I was like, what was their name? It was like Super Rainbow Kitty Princess. It was somebody's dad. It was really cool to see like something different used. But I still got the dub at the end. He was really good though. That combo really threw me off. That Free Ball combo. I was like, what? But anyway, I feel like Rod, hopefully, I hope that like the new Griffin Beyblade is gonna push out Rod or something new. I just want something to push Rod out the meta. I feel like it's been a staple for so long that it's about time for something new. And I don't think I'm alone in that statement. I feel like everybody is bored of seeing like Rod always being on, you know, like the top three. Well, it's in everybody's deck. You never. It's rare for you not to see Rod in somebody's deck unless they're really going out that way and really put an effort to not use Rod. But it's still kind of, you kind of gotta use Rod because it's so good at what it does. You'll be a fool not to use Rod. Some things that people did at one point try to do to use, or not try to do, to use instead of using Rod was Mummy's Curse on Hex. It didn't really work. I feel like Rod still is the more stable combo to use besides Mummy Curse, because you know Mummy Curse doesn't really have nowhere near unless the animal Rod has. Yeah, it could defend, but the way these attackers are, like Shark Scale and Hover Wyver and like the Blast Heavy combos, you're not really gonna, you can defend, but you're not gonna really last too long. And another thing that I kind of used when it came out, I tried to use this set of Rod, was basically this on Free Ball, because this came out, the Scorpion Spirit came out back when it was still Rod Ball days. So you had your Hexa slot free, so you can use Hexa as well. And then what's the other combo? It's not really combo, but like, you know, Blade really. And then if I could find my daggone Silver Wolf, and then Silver Wolf, it does what Rod wants to do, but I feel like Rod just spins a lot longer. So there's things that tried to like replace Rod. These are three that I at least have. I don't they didn't do much, nothing. You really would have, back in the day, it would be Wolf on Hex and then Rod on Ball, but now Rod just like took over both those slots, so you could have more room for attackers, which I think is kind of cool. I think that makes it a little bit more, you know, flexible. But one of the things that I wouldn't say it's the Rod killer, but I would say it's more of the Rod complement is oh my goodness, what's this thing called? Clock Mirage. I would say Twisted Tempo. I always almost say Twisted Tempo with this blade. Well, yeah, Clock Mirage. The only downside, you know, can't use regular ratchets, only use simple ratchets, which is, you know, thank goodness, because this would be really bad if you use regular ratchets. But you know, this also outspins Rod a lot of the times. But the only thing is, it's really, I wouldn't say it's only good in Rod. That'd be a lie, because I definitely can't beat it when I use other combos. It's a high skill ceiling and takes a lot of game awareness to use, and game awareness, matchup awareness, and reading your opponent. It takes brain to use. Rod, you could just, you know, you could throw in there, you know, just ball out. But you know, this, you have to actually think about what you're gonna do. Having both this and Rod and then one attack in your deck is really beneficial for you because like, if you know how to put this where it's supposed to be, you'll outspin something. You know how to put Rod where it's supposed to be, you'll most of the time outspin something as well. And then you just have Shark get a 2-pointer for you and you win the set. In the ideal world, that's how that will work. But you know, we don't live in the ideal world as Beyblade X. But yeah, I just kind of feel like Rod has been in the meta long enough. I want to see these new lines of like BX Infinite, UX Infinite, and CX Infinite actually have a new stamina blade. I feel like it's about time for us to move, because we moved on from attack blades. It used to be like Fing Swing was like your best attacker. Now it's Shark. It used to be that, like, you know, how, you know, Unicorn and Scythe both got out the meta. And then what was back then? And then Kobo Dragoon, that used to be like your spin stealer. Now we don't really use no more because it got outclassed. But you know, that was a little quick video I just want to talk about. Also, CX version is just ass. I was having so high hopes for this, and it just sucks.